Welcome to the Actually I Can Female Entrepreneur podcast. I am your host, Kayleigh Greenacre, a business strategist, coach, TEDx speaker, author, and your go-to woman for all things business strategy. I am obsessed with supporting female entrepreneurs to grow unstoppable six and multi-six-figure businesses that they love, giving them the freedom and life that they desire. During this podcast, I'll be sharing with you everything that you need to become a successful female entrepreneur, from the mindset shifts to sales and marketing strategies and how to become an iconic leader that people can't get enough of. It is my mission to help you stand out, attract your dream clients and customers, and sell out of your offers with ease whilst building the business and life of your dreams. Let's make this your reality, ladies. Hello, ladies, and welcome to another episode of Actually I Can, the Female Entrepreneur Podcast. And today I am joined by the fabulous Emily Booroff, who is a TikTok expert, founder of Social Climbers, which is a digital marketing agency. And in today's episode, we are going to be diving into how to maximize your opportunity on TikTok. Emily, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
I feel like I should start with a TikTok hook, like, you won't believe me, this is so crazy. But no, we should just get
I love this. It's an absolute pleasure, darling. And again, I'm always excited of all of my fabulous guests that come onto this podcast, but I'm very excited about this topic because we've not covered TikTok before on the podcast. I know you're an absolute pro, an expert, and I think that this is going to help so many of our listeners who are really wanting to master TikTok, because let's be honest, it's a perfect opportunity for them to grow their businesses, get more visible and all the things.
It's becoming so much more prevalent. It is no longer just the dancing app. And I think that's honestly part of my personal mission, is to make sure that people know that. But yeah, no, you have some incredible guests. So it's such a privilege to be here. So thank you so much for the time. Yeah, I guess you want to kind of get straight into it.
I think what would be really great is I always ask all of my guests to tell our listeners a little bit more about their journey. So we'd love to hear a little bit more about you and your personal journey as you've kind of moved through and to get to where you are today.
Yeah, well, hopefully everyone can keep up with this one. It's a bit all over the place. So I have the trifecta that Stephen Bartlett claims for like CEO, founder. My parents split up when I was young. I'm neurodivergent and I dropped out of uni. So I feel like super pleased that happened, because clearly I've lucked out now. But yeah, so I like to start with that because I think it's important to just highlight that you do not have to have everything together. You don't have to have a plan. If it's not gone to plan, it's okay. My life has very much followed a line like that. Although I feel like it was guided by the universe, it has definitely taken me here from there. So I guess when I went to uni, because I went to a school that everybody went to uni from. I chose history because I'd fallen out with the art teacher. I've been like creative forever. It didn't work out, like classic story. Went to uni, it wasn't the right thing. I dropped out and I took a job in Karen Millen. Oh no, that's a lie. I took a job in Reese in London, which is a clothes shop, and did the opposite of what everybody is supposed to do and fell in love with working on the shop floor. I know it's meant to be like the dead end role, but I absolutely fell in love with it. And then, went on this mad career journey and was able to work for Reese. I worked for Karen Millen across a number of their stores. I worked with Ralph Lauren, which was amazing. And then my last role before I left the UK in 2013 was with All Saints. And I ran all flagship stores across London, across Bicester Village as well for Ralph. I just was very lucky to have so many people along the way that invested in my journey, like mentoring before mentoring was a thing, like really helping me grow, giving me crazy opportunities that nobody should have given a 22-year-old. Like no one should give a 22-year-old an £8 million Ralph Lauren store to manage. Like nobody should do that. And of course, working for some of these incredible companies, you just get this really high standard of what you want to deliver. So I learned a lot about corporate and a lot about what to do, that I was hungry, I was ready for that next step. And I was 26 here in the UK. And I personally at the time just felt like the UK wasn't where I was going to make my fortune. I was paying more tax in my last job here than I earned in my first 3 salaries, which was just mad. And I was only on that sort of like, and I say only, there's obviously a lot of money, but that 40, 50K salary bracket. It wasn't like I was, the super tax bracket. So yeah, I was like, gosh, what to do? And a friend of mine put a post up on Facebook that he had jobs in his business in Abu Dhabi. I sent him a message. He replied. He booked me a flight. I flew over for 4 days in the June of 2013, and then I moved back in August with a suitcase and honestly zero plan. I was like, I'm just going. And it was the first time I'd left retail. I went to work in an office. It was my first 9 to 5. Never had weekends off before. Oh my gosh, went a bit wild. But yeah, it was crazy. And that jumping out of the UK, if anybody is thinking about doing it or has thought about doing it, do it. It will change your mindset forever. It will open everything up. It will show you what opportunity really is. It will give you the confidence to go. And I can guarantee that you will find that people outside of the UK are very positive. They want to help you. They want to grow your network. I mean, we're very lucky to be in a pool of women that do that. That I haven't found that outside of this here, but whereas you go there, and I don't know if anyone's been to Dubai or Abu Dhabi, but I'm sure if you have, at some point someone's gone, oh, let me recommend something for you. Oh, let me sort something out for you. And that's just the whole journey.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
did this crazy job of sales, financial sales, learned so much, learned about the stock markets, learned about actual sales process, psychology, cold calling, you name it, I learned it. That I missed the shop floor terribly. Never thought I would ever say that when I left. I used to work crazy hours, like 90-hour weeks, every weekend going. So I was craving that time off. Turns out I hated it. And then I was lucky enough to get one of my first dream roles, which was partnership manager with House of Fraser there. And I opened a House of Fraser. First store I ever opened, 100,000 square feet, 10,000 square meters. Please don't ask me to give you that, but I still don't know. Massive is the answer, in everything except for beauty. And yeah, took care of like over 125 brand partners across buying, sales, shop fits, management, everything. It was an incredible role. And it really like set me in that tone of like, right, I want more. And one of the reasons I left the UK was because I felt I was never getting off the shop floor. So I stayed there for 2.5 years, again, learned incredible lessons. And then Monica Tan, who's 1/3 of Huda Beauty, came knocking, which is probably where my life really pivots. And she had another business, which was a beauty salon-based business. And I interviewed for that for an ops role and got given GM and then got set about transforming her company. We opened more salons. We looked at an aesthetics clinic, which we did build. Retail stores in Dubai, mall, actually, website, distribution, you name it, we did it. And we built that and we grew, which was unbelievable. And it was just as the time as Huda Beauty started. So I felt privileged to be witnessing that. And you can only imagine the lessons that I learned there. I'll just think about those. And yeah, it was insane. And then, unfortunately, her relationship with her local business partner fell down. So then I moved over to, I moved actually to GMG, which is the distributor of like Nike, Under Armour, Timberland, because they were looking to do a big beauty, like same for beauty. They had a big multi-brand sports. They wanted to do the same for beauty. I went over there and like it's difficult because I only spent 6 months there and people are like, why do you reference this? And I think it's important because I wasn't the right fit for that role. I wasn't the right fit for that part of the business. Just didn't work. And we just parted ways amicably. And lucky enough, I was able to then get a role with Majid Al Futtaim, which is a huge conglomerate there. If you've ever been, they own Mall of Emirates. So that's a good standing to give them the size. And I went to their fashion and lifestyle department and I was head of beauty. So I helped them open another huge store. We opened salons. They looked at, they were the retail partner now for Shiseido. So I helped them with a lot of that. That was also over the pandemic. So I was very lucky to be there because I was busy and we moved and we had lots to do. And also I was in Dubai, so we had a small lockdown. But I'd made the decision when I took the job that would be the last job I did for someone else. And I couldn't keep putting in these, God, I can't even tell you the hours I worked there, 18, 19-hour days every day till like 3 a.m. for someone else. If I'm going to do that, it needs to be for me. So fast forward to 2021, I've given it a good slog, really given it a good slog. My anxiety is through the roof. My partying is through the roof. My lifestyle's really bad. I'm the most single girl you'll ever meet. Everything is just not aligned. I'm super out of alignment. I don't feel myself. I'm overweight. Everything is not okay. And I was like, I just can't do this anymore. And I guess this happens to a lot of people when they're in corporate. And I think I was probably on burnout number 8 with no recovery in between. I used to watch Grey's Anatomy on a Wednesday to cry, so I didn't cry at work at the end of the week. That is not a joke. It was insane. It was absolutely crazy. So yeah, it was time to there wasn't a big plan, but it was time to just do it. So I had decided to leave Dubai. I resigned from the role. Funny story is, after I resigned, I then continued to consult with them for 5 months afterwards. But I did that from the beaches of Koh Phangan in Thailand. So it was totally different. And again, my whole life like pivots and changes. And that's when I founded my other agency, which is Altitude. And I work with beauty and wellness founders to help them create brands, get them launched out into different markets. So started Altitude with a very rough idea of what it was, invested in a coach, probably one of the best things I did. And we formulated and put everything together, strategized out. This is obviously before I knew Kayleigh, so it was a different coach, but we put it all together, and that really helped me formulate what I was doing. And I hit the ground running. We picked up clients. I never advertised. It was all referrals. And this is big projects. To build a brand, you need £100,000. You need to invest in the stock, the marketing, the team. That first year, you need those coffers. So these are not small projects that you come by, but through lots of recommendations and the universe just divinely placing people in front of me, or who'd grown up next to me my whole life and realized what I was doing and then wanted to start a brand, things like that. Amazing things happened. Yeah. And it was incredible. Personal life was beautiful in terms of friends and how I was living, and I was so connected to myself. And because I was connected, the universe just kept giving gifts. Love life, atrocious. If you think dating in London is hard, you should try dating in Dubai. If you think dating in Dubai is hard, you should try dating lost men in Asia. Wow. What an experience that is. You've got alcoholics, people trying to run away from being drug addicts, people on the lam from the law, people who have failed in business, because you probably need like £4 in your bank to look like a millionaire in Asia. So you can live that life, but you're not actually living that life. You're not actually generating business. You're not really doing anything. You're not growing. And I stayed in Thailand for about a year. Then I moved to Bali, which was transformative personally in terms of healing, as everyone would expect. But I just wasn't connecting to the people. I had an awful year in 2023 with lost 3 very close people to me, which was very, very sad. And I had an awful boyfriend who was a 20+ year bodybuilder. So you know what all that comes with. And yeah, I crashed and I burned. I kept the clients that I had. We were no longer like referring. We weren't bringing on new projects. We weren't connecting. I was just so lost. Split up with the boyfriend. Flew to Dubai for 2 days because I was in Cyprus for a wedding. And a friend sat me down and went, you want your business to grow. You want to be around the right people. You want to meet somebody to build a family. You need to go home. You need to let go of this ego, of this travel girl that you are, that you've got this, everyone on Instagram sees me here, there and everywhere, and everyone's going to know I failed, and everyone's going to think this, that, the other. And she was like, okay, what do you want? Do you want to be lost in Asia like these people, or do you want to go and be the Emily that you're supposed to be? Was a big talk. So went back to Bali, packed everything up, moved home. That was like the 31st of October. I was back in England on the 16th of November, which is a pretty fast turnaround. Terrible time to move back. The weather was bad. Everybody was miserable. It was freezing. From a tax point of view, it was terrible. There was like nothing right about it. But honestly, I was broken. Like on the floor, like really, really broken. More broken than I'd been in Dubai, because it had just been so much, and I had never really, I don't know, I just hadn't like recovered enough to be able to like keep going. So yeah, so it was a pretty hectic time. But I was lucky to be coming home to my parents' home, which is a big thing at 36, to move back in with your parents. But I'm lucky I've got their house, right? Because not everyone does. And yeah, I moved back, and my friends from when I was a kid are still here. So I was straight back in with them. Managed to meet Fiona, who's obviously the amazing founder of The Right Field. And kind of like life started to snowball from there again. So I've moved home, I'm in the right place. Universe is like, big tick, here you go. I'll drop everything in for you. Got onto the dating apps, swiped on one, spoke to a few people, agreed to one date with one human. So I met my now fiance, which is mental, on the 6th of Jan. I also started to meet more and more people for my business. More clients came on board. Everything kind of like reignited. And something that we really started to see was people didn't understand TikTok. TikTok Shop is becoming a huge opportunity for beauty. 1 in every 2 products sold in the UK on TikTok is a beauty product.
Wow.
So we've got all this going on. We're reforming. I'm building this relationship with Nick, pushing altitude, driving. So what makes sense? Start another business. I know you know about this. I know you live like this. So we tested out the TikTok marketing with existing clients within altitude, and then we decided to take it out. And on September 8th, I think we registered social climbers. And the stuff that I've done this year is wild. We exhibited at the beauty show, so we took a huge stand, and we really put ourselves on the map there. I spoke on stage at a number of different events, including Beauty World, and a solo speaking spot to also talk about TikTok, which was like a huge life goal. The year before, when I was in that mess, getting told to go home, I'd gone to Beauty World then, so it was a real full circle moment to be there. And we also were verified by TikTok as a TikTok marketing partner, which means that when we launch brands, we do that with TikTok. We are in all of the trainings, all of the updates. There's a lot. And we have them, we're able to message them and contact them directly when there are problems, and we can get things approved and move forward faster. So we're very, very fortunate. That came through a great connection, the guy that lived next to me, the one that we made a brand with. So it's been an absolute whirlwind, and I'm obviously trying to condense everything. There's loads of other things in there, but I like to explain it because I feel like it's so overwhelming to have a business right now. It's so overwhelming just to be going for it, and there's so much fear and like, will I fail? Will I not? The way I've lived my life is like, I'd rather do it and fail than regret not doing it. And that is definitely super prevalent for TikTok. So it's been an insane journey. It's really exciting. We've got, we must be in the double figures for TikTok clients now, which is mad. Team coming on board, UGC team created, looking at offices. There is so much happening, and it's mad to think it's only 3 months, because in my brain it feels like 3 years. So I have to remember where we are for those 3 months, and kind of correct myself. But it's a mad opportunity.
And what an incredible journey as well, from where you were and everything that you shared with us here on the podcast to where you are now. And things have moved very quickly, haven't they, for you in the last couple of years? So it's fantastic to hear that, and for all of our listeners to hear your story and your journey as well. But TikTok, absolutely. Let's dive into this, because I really want to pick your brains and share with our listeners some great pieces of advice, basically, that they can take away and implement themselves in terms of their business. So let's start off with, for entrepreneurs, most of us, in fact, nearly everyone knows what TikTok is. But for new entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that haven't yet tapped into TikTok, what is the most effective way to actually get started without feeling overwhelmed of yet another social media platform?
Yeah, it's tricky, right? The truth of it is, it's just, you've got to get posting. You've got to be on there. You've got to spend some time on there. So have you, what are your competitors at? Who are the people that you're aiming to be like? What are they doing on TikTok? The quickest and easiest way is to look at what they're doing and make your own version of it. So if they're creating educational videos and you can see that's getting great likes, create your own educational videos. If they're partnering with people, look at those right people to partner with. If they're doing trends and silly things, then add a little bit of that in. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can take inspiration from our peers and our competitors and recreate that in our own brand signature to deliver that own message. There are 2 billion active users a month on TikTok globally. 2 billion.
Mad to think of it that being that many.
I think that would be the largest population in the world if it was its own country. And it's like 43% of the total internet users a month, which is around 5 billion, is on TikTok now. So it really is that space where they're there, people are there, and it's not just Gen Z, and it is not just dancing trends. It is definitely becoming an education prevalent platform. And if you think of what you go to YouTube for, I bet you could search for the same stuff on TikTok and probably find better, quicker, easier to digest information.
Amazing. So do your market research, have a look at what other people are doing, and then ultimately, like you said, don't reinvent the wheel, but kind of pick out key things that are working well, and then create your own kind of content and concepts around that.
It's a big testing pool, right? So the other thing is you won't know what your audience likes until you serve it up to them. If it doesn't work, just don't continue to push it. Try something else. It's a very quick turnaround. So we don't have to get caught up in our failures. We don't have to get caught up in the 10 views or the 200 views if we didn't get 1,000 or we didn't go viral. We just keep going, right? We just keep getting up and keep going. And each video will be pushed to about 80% new followers. So that's another thing, is like, if you think you've said your message enough, we'll get into this later, but if you think you've said your message once, it's not enough, you know? Every time it's being pushed out to someone new. So if the last lot of people didn't like it, so what? Who cares? There's a whole new lot that TikTok's going to push it out to, and they could be your engaged audience right there waiting.
Amazing. So in terms of posting content on TikTok, because again, I think it's different to different platforms, but ultimately we want to be able to grab their attention. Is there any, quickly and keep them engaged, obviously, in whatever we're saying or posting or sharing? Are there any key elements that we can do to capture people's attention, or any kind of suggestions or advice that you would give people for that?
Absolutely. First of all, totally fine to film TikTok content on your phone. It's lo-fi, it's easy to do, it's the way people absorb it. So there's no stress with that. Second is movement in the beginning of your video.
Emily's just given us a demonstration on camera there of movement. I love this.
You can do something when you move, whether it's sit down at your chair, whether it's doing your makeup, whether it's doing your hair, anything like that that can catch the attention, to break the scroll, right? We can pull people in. The next is a great technique called pattern interrupt. So this is where you might put a number of videos together, so there's a bit of a break, so there's a little bit of a jump. So you can film everything in one and you can chop it up, or you can film small videos and put them together, because it then resets the brain every like 4 seconds so that we stay for longer. Super easy. The third is to really think about the hook. Oh my God, I'm sure everyone is sick of the word hooks. However, they are super important: written, audio, visual, and these should all match together, right? And also, don't just do something, hi guys, come with me today, let's do this. Be like, 90% of the UK hate Mondays. I don't, this is why. And show them what your life is like at work. So just think about different things that you can say and you can put together to make it more interesting, to grab more people's attention. Reiterate that in your written caption, and then either you're speaking on the video or you've got some kind of training audio in the background to grab the attention of the ears, and then you've got people locked in. So we're in, we're here, we're ready.
Amazing. So something that I think is so, so important for any business owner, and I know you'll agree with this, is authenticity. And I speak an awful lot about iconic leadership and how to stand out as that iconic leader. But I think sometimes, especially with TikTok, but potentially other platforms as well to an extent, is people are under this impression that they have to perform, whether that's dancing. And I know you mentioned movement there, but where people feel that they have to go all out and actually put on a performance. What's your take on this? Is this true, or is there a different way that they can authentically showcase their brand or their products on TikTok without having to feel that they have to perform?
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite misconceptions about TikTok. No, you don't need to perform. You do not need to be perfect. In fact, the less perfect you are, the better your content will do. You can show up literally as who you are, however that is. So for me, I'm very much showing up how I am now. I'm in a very casual shirt. I'm sat here with my arm very relaxed. Like, that is very much how I like to film myself. This is how I live my life. So I show myself like that. In terms of that movement piece, it is honestly literally as simple as sitting down as the chair. We don't need to do a dance. You don't need to learn a routine. It's super, super easy. But you can actually just show up as yourself. And there are some incredible founders that do this really well. Sydney Lane's founder, which is an apparel brand, and Odd Muse. Also Isabel, who's the founder behind Pearl Cosmetics. These 3 women are phenomenal at what they do, and they really show up literally as themselves, and they share everything and anything. Honestly, it's like sometimes it must have been a thought that they had while they were in the shower. They've made a video about it. They really share their journey. They really share what they're doing, and then you buy into it, and then guess what? You want to support it, and then you buy from them. So it's really, really clever. Gen Z doesn't want to see everything perfect and proper. Gen Z are like the unperfect one, right? They broke the heroin chic, they broke the body positivity, they broke these crazy expectations that we've had for years. I'm a millennial. Anyone above us will probably know the same things. So this is the app to do that. This is actually the app to show up as yourself. And like we've said, each time it gets pushed out to new people, right? So you will find your tribe, you will find your person on there, that your audience will be engaged and they will be actively engaged. It's probably one of the biggest parts of TikTok, and the biggest opportunity is to show up as yourself.
And I think that, showing up as yourself authentically and actually sharing your story, you touched on that as well. And you gave some fantastic examples of incredible founders as well. I feel like it's absolutely true across all social media, but for anyone to be able to connect with you, sharing your story is such a powerful tool, isn't it? So that they can resonate or hear a little bit more about your story, maybe feel inspired. And there's always ways to connect with people's stories, isn't there? And I think it just goes to show that you're human. You're human, you have a story to share, because everyone does, and use that to your advantage through your content, as well as, I'm sure, sales content and all the different types of content that people teach out there. But I don't think anything is as powerful as storytelling.
I agree. And that's why you start the podcast in that way, right? That's why Stephen Bartlett starts it in that way. There's lots of people that do that. And also, like, story is usually connected to trauma. So people have usually been through a rough time. So make it work for you, make money, make brand awareness, use it to your advantage. And then you flip it on its head, right? That's the ultimate way to not show up as a victim. That is the ultimate way to be, a champion. If you've got the scars, honestly, for me, I feel you might as well make money from them, and make it work for you.
Amazing. So TikTok and utilizing that, showing up authentically, some really great advice. Let's talk a little bit about how to grow on TikTok and then how to make some money, how to make some sales. So first of all, let's talk about growth, because I think with TikTok, again, the algorithm's different to other social media platforms. Is there any advice or any strategies that you can give our listeners to help them grow their audience consistently?
Yeah, and you've mentioned the key word there. It is consistency. It's consistency. So sorry, guys, there is no shortcut. There is no quick way. But if you are posting 3 times a day up, and you can strategize this across 3 types of content, and you're consistently posting the same message, you are telling TikTok who you are and what your story is, what you're sharing. They will then categorize you. So we'll get into these. They're 2 separate things. So consistently posting is really important, because TikTok is a Chinese-based app. It's a game. It's gamified. So the more you engage, the more you post, the more points you get, the more it pushes you out, the more people will find you, the more followers, and the more likes that you get. You're really looking for high engagement. So shares, likes, saves, watches. Anything over 3.4 seconds counts as a full watch. And then you're looking for that space. You're not actually looking for following to grow. You're looking for your likes. You're looking for engagement. That's what TikTok's grading you on, which is nice, because it takes the pressure off that. And we also have then, I've seen that filter into Instagram. So you guys may now notice that it's harder to grow followers. It's because we don't need to follow to see content, because we've been a little bit brainwashed from TikTok. It's the same thing. The types of videos you can pop up, usually for 3 posts a day, we would look at a 6-7 second video, which might be a quick point. It might be mouth syncing to something. There was one the other day that's like, is it weird I'm here? Does it look weird that I'm here? And it's like, the caption is like every millennial business owner posting on TikTok, and it's just lip syncing a little bit of something fun, jumping into a trend, jumping into all these different things. There's lots of fun activities you can do and quick content. You can also snapshot from a podcast. You might want to do a quick product video, which just puts your key things on there. Maybe there's a customer review. Quick, short, sharp, 7-second content. The next is like a swipe carousel, just like an IG. So you can pop it there. These are great for telling a story. These are great for sharing moments. I put up one the other day that was like, pinch me moments from 2024, and just really sharing like with everybody all these crazy things that I've been able to do and been able to achieve. And then the 1-minute video, this is like your big piece that's going out. So this might be your face to camera. This might be your lesson. This might be your B-roll with your voice recorded over the top, which you can create in the TikTok app. So you can put multiple B-roll videos together. Quite easy, honestly. You'll press the little sideways phone looking like cut thing on the right hand side, open that, and then you can chip up your clips, Then when you press voice, you can actually record, so you can talk right over it. And if you can create content in the TikTok app, the algorithm is a little bit better. They never confirm this, but we kind of know, because you've created it in the app. So it's got TikTok coding and signature on it. So when TikTok is reading the video, which is when we get into categorizing in a second, they will see that you're there. And it's all about loyalty, using the app and being engaged, right? Back to that gamify piece. Be here, be engaged, be on the app. Use that video for that real hit for the day. That's kind of like your gold star. But honestly, sometimes it will be a 7-second video that will go viral. We have a client, the best post we've ever done is holding their product up in front of a Christmas tree. I can't tell you how heartbreaking that is, but also we've had over 400,000 views on that. So we're very happy with also those results. Categorizing, this is my new favorite thing. So TikTok runs like an SEO engine, which a lot of people are not aware of. So there's a search bar at the top, so you're able to go in and people will search. Every time I travel, TikTok is my place to do things to do and restaurants. I'd recommend anyone to do that to really see the capability of what that is. So how does that work for your business? Then when anyone is searching business coach, female coach, entrepreneurs, business tips, business advice, TikTok advice, management, whatever it might be, supplements, you will come up in that search space. And also, if they have searched for that content, TikTok will then push more of that content afterwards. So I recently got engaged. I know also you did as well. So very exciting for us. I don't know how much of your content and your ads are weddings, but every single one of my ads is weddings or wedding dresses. It's insane. Because I've been searching. TikTok has that same ethos in there. So it will show you those things. How do you know if you've managed to categorize your content? Because in the top of the search bar on the content, after it's posted, after it's gone out for a little while, a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, it will have the name of that subject. That is it. That's the gold, big tick. Anybody who categorizes content, especially when you first start, you should genuinely celebrate. Small celebration, tea with your biscuit or whatever it is. Jump up, happy dance, celebrate that, because it's a big bloody deal. And it means it will get pushed out and it will get more traction. And if one of those topics trends later, the video will also get pushed out because TikTok's already identified that video as that. How do we add into the categorization? It goes back to those hooks and also your hashtags. So yes, hashtags are important on TikTok. I know this also comes up quite often. So our visual hook, our audio hook and our written hook are along that kind of like same space, right? So we always want to have captions enabled on the video because TikTok is scanning the video for words. Everything that you're saying is then captioned and TikTok knows what it is. You should also have the start of that speaking about what the video is, which is the start of your written hook. So 90% of the UK hate going to work on Monday, not me. Let me show you why. It should be the first thing out of your mouth on the video and the first thing in your written hook. Then at the end, you've got your same 6 hashtags that you want to use. So whatever it is that you're really pushing, you want to do that. If you want to go viral, and I would look for 1 to 2 posts viral a week. You don't want every day, you'd be overwhelmed. And also your messages there. Stick to 2 key topics. So for me, how to go viral on TikTok, how to grow your business on TikTok. These are 2 topics that I would then put lots of things out with the aim to go viral, right? I then tell TikTok every day I'm the same thing, I'm putting the same stuff out and I'm building the same 6 hashtags all the time, reusing, just consistently repeating my message and telling TikTok who I am and why I've shown up. It will then do its thing. It will categorize, it will push me out, it will bring me followers from the For You page. Over 80% of the people that look at your content will have never seen you before. It's honestly like one of the most untapped ways to find, new clients, new leads, new followers, new people to be engaged with. And then it's up to you to keep consistently posting to keep them there.
Amazing. I'm pretty certain that a number of our listeners would have made a lot of notes from that, Emily. That was incredible.
So that it's clear because it's so much information. I know that. But yeah, it's just cracking that rhythm and that consistency, right? And it's just showing up every day. And I think sometimes people are like, oh my God, but I have to film this all at once. You could do all of those 3 posts in the morning between 8 and 10 a.m., depending on what your routine is. You could just get that out, bang that out. I like to do my front to face camera in one shot because then there are some days I don't have to put makeup on and I don't have to put hair on. You can show up however you are, but for me, I like to look like that. That's who I am. So I have to put the makeup on. But for like the quick carousels and the other ones, I do them as I go. If I'm on the train, if I'm in a cab, obviously not when I'm driving, but sometimes when I've got somewhere and I'm walking around, absolutely terrible. Sometimes I'm on meetings with the team and I'll be creating content in the background because my ADHD brain can't just do one thing. But yeah, so you can schedule it out through the week. It doesn't have to be this huge onslaught of, oh my God, this whole week's content in one go. You can build it. And obviously B-roll is queen. So you can build so much from B-roll, which is, we know, much easier than face to camera.
So much easier. And anyone can do it. B-roll is so simple, isn't it? In terms of just capturing some footage and then obviously being able to turn your piece of content, your idea for your content into a very short, quick video, which is amazing. So there's some great advice there, really good advice in terms of how to use TikTok and really think about how they can consistently post to grow their audience. But what about sales? Say, for example, people are posting consistently, they found their rhythm, potentially it'll take a good few months to get into that rhythm. But once they've got that, they're getting the views, they're getting the engagement, how do they actually then make sales? And I know this will be different depending on if they're a product-based business, service provider, all of the things, but any advice that you can give to the majority of our listeners in regards to making sales or bringing in leads?
Sure. So 100 TikToks is 100 posts is how long it takes to really drive into the algorithm. So if you're starting from 0 today, if you can get to 100 in a 2-month period, honestly, you'd be laughing. It's the same as any social media. You can't guarantee ROI, right? That is one of the truths of it. If we're just talking about the content, if you're a product-based business and you are not on TikTok Shop, please give me a call. It is such an easy way. That way, it's super easy way to make money, right? You're posting the content. TikTok Shop does the job for you. Sometimes we have 30,000 or 60,000 views of content a week, but 700,000 product views from TikTok Shop for clients. So it really depends on what it is. And it's actually great because TikTok Shop will push that out. What if we've not got a TikTok Shop, and what if we want to grow our business? So we need to see 15 to 30 touch points now from somebody before we buy. So this TikTok builds into that. It goes alongside your Instagram posting. It goes alongside your email marketing. Maybe you're on a podcast. Maybe you're in a networking event, whatever it is. It really feeds into that. And it's all about studying what content has performed the best for you, because that's actually what's tapping into your audience. Please do not get trapped in the teamwork trend. I know it's really appealing to do this teamwork trend, which is where if you write teamwork on someone's post, they've usually made a post saying, if you write teamwork, I'll follow you, you follow me. And I love that. I love that people want to do that and engage. It's beautiful. But if you think about it, you're asking 10,000 people to follow you, but they don't necessarily want to buy from you. They're not your target audience. They're not the right person. 100% support each other, 100% engage with accounts. Try it a little bit if you want, but what you don't want is an inactive group of followers who don't engage with you, because that makes your account look dead. It's the same as when people buy followers, right? Please never buy followers. You might look like you've got 30,000, 40,000 followers, but your likes will be 2. So all social media platforms will see you as an unengaging account and deprioritize your content straight away. If you have bought followers and you are able to remove them, I honestly would. It's one of the quickest ways to turn around low engagement. So it's back to the quality of that content and making sure it really speaks to your audience. So if you are any service-based industry, it is giving away value and education. And right now, value and education is trending so high on TikTok. I can't go on without seeing 20 videos in my scroll at the start of the day about how to make more money, how to grow on TikTok, how to post this content, how to get more clients. There's so much there. Give these snippets of information away. Build your voice as the authority in your industry, build your engaged audience, and they will be ready to buy from you. If you sell digital products and digital courses, you can now promote those through TikTok ads, which is a new thing happened in the last couple of months. So you can then run ad campaigns and link into your digital products and sell them through there. And then people will also be able to come onto your content and see what you're adding, like see who you are, get to know you, like hang out with you. One of the reasons that Mona and Huda did so well with Huda Beauty is because you could see everything they were doing. You could be in Huda's front room with her on her IG. That is what built that community that she had. And she was so authentic and she was so real. And if we go back to that time of like 2016, 2017 for Instagram, and particularly what it did for beauty, it blew up. Okay. We had Charlotte Tilbury, we had Ordinary, we had Summer Fridays, Summer Riley, Huda, like I could list forever, because they did that. They engaged with their audience, they built their communities, and they used a social media platform to do that. And then they made products and sold brands. That is where TikTok is at right now for brands. It's the second wave. For me, I was too young to be on the Instagram wave. I was too young to be on the property wave. I was too young and too stupid, let's say. I didn't get into Bitcoin. I feel like for me, TikTok is the wave. That's what I feel that opportunity is right now. I feel like everyone gets a wave to be a millionaire, and I'm hoping to be some kind of millionaire TikTok agency opener. But the great thing about that is we only get successful if we make other people successful, right? So that is a next level, and I know you have this too. Your earnings and your, the way you build your business is only comes from building someone else's business, which is such a privilege. So super, super exciting for us.
Amazing. So let's talk about mistakes, because with TikTok, you've given some great advice there in terms of how to grow, how to monetize, and how to really make sales, whether you're a product-based business or service provider, and how to kind of bring in the leads. What are the biggest mistakes that you have seen entrepreneurs make on TikTok?
Not posting, number one. Not posting.
Not actually showing up and posting. Yeah.
Fair enough. Big surprise. Getting in your head and thinking that that person that you went to school with, who used to bully you, who's probably not done anything with their life, is going to take you down because you've posted a TikTok. Well, boo-hoo to them, because they are not going to be where you want to be in a few years' time. Like, you've got to ask yourself, who's your future self? Where is she? Where is he? Where are they? Like, where are we going? And you owe it to yourself to turn up and show up on TikTok, to give yourself that life. Do you want to be sat here in the same place in 6 months, 6 years, or do you want to have grown forward? And that was really where I was last year, when I was like, God, I love what I do with Altitude, but it's very long projects. It's very limited. We can only take 2 or 3 because it's so much time and you pour everything into someone's brand. Do I want to be here? No, I want a family. I want to be able to do something that's more flexible, but I still love what I do and I still love retail. Right, let's try this TikTok thing. And we invested in courses and we looked at all these different things, and I found different people and I went to these different places. And then lo and behold, we launched, we opened, we showed at the beauty show, we got validated, approved as a TikTok partner. We opened, we ran our first Black Friday. All those things happened because we just said we have to do it. The other one is thinking you need to delete a video if it performs badly. You honestly don't. Like, say what? Oh my God, it showed 200 people only saw that video. Great, 200 people only saw that video. Win. The people next one that's used by 2,000, 3,000 is that right stuff, right? So don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. How many pieces of content have you seen already today? Average is 10,000 a day. So you probably will have forgotten a bad piece of content or something that didn't work. That won't resonate. People won't remember. I feel as humans, we get obsessed with people thinking that they're noticing what we're doing wrong. When I'm at the gym, if I can't finish my set of 10 because I've gone up a weight or something, I'm thinking everyone in the gym is going to know you've only done 8. Oh my God, if they're standing there counting that you've done 8 reps, they're not working out themselves. If someone is standing there criticizing you for but whatever you've posted or whatever this is, they're not doing it themselves. They're not growing themselves. They are just, they're just those people. Hey, we know those people. I just think we just get in our heads and we get super worried about it, and we just need to let it go. So don't overthink it. Don't do that. There is one thing I just want to touch on. Sometimes you might have noticed a 0 on your video. Honestly, it's a TikTok glitch. Sometimes it does happen. So that is not you, that is TikTok. They have a few glitches to work out. And best thing to do is you can now delete and re-edit. So you can delete something and re-edit it later, or you can just delete it, repost it another time. If you have a 0 video, don't then try to post another video straight away. Give it a bit of time to breathe, let it relax. If you can wait till the next day, then I always would. I always notice when we're posting for clients, after a 0 video, if we post on the same day, we have a lower view. And if we post on the following day, we get that back into like our usual, like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 views, the average on videos that we see. So yeah, if that does happen, that is honestly not you. That is TikTok.
Amazing. I've definitely had that before. Amazing.
Well, I haven't just made that up. That is one of the things that we've confirmed at TikTok HQ. So that is true, validated advice, not just guessing.
You know what? You have shared so much in this episode to kickstart people's TikToks and to be able to support them in terms of growth, sales, growing with the algorithm, all the things. There's so much here. And I know that everything you teach and share, is of great value. Is there a final piece of advice that you can give our listeners before we finish today?
Just have fun with it. Like, there's a lid for every pot, right? There's a crowd for you out there. There's someone that wants to hear your story, just like you were saying earlier. Don't overthink it. Use your B-roll, share a bit of your life, film yourself making tea or coffee. There's a woman who has shared her business story while she's making toast very recently. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but she didn't toast very much. Everyone's like, oh my God, what's this warm bread? Why aren't you toasting your bread? Why are you just eating like this? And she's absolutely exploded. I bet she did it on purpose. I bet she knew it was controversial, and I bet she knew everyone was going to hate her warmly toasted bread. It's silly stuff like that. Just don't overthink it. To quote Love Island, don't deep it. Just really just have fun. Show who you are. Show up authentically, which I know you teach so many people how to do. And just don't overthink of it. And if you have any questions, you want to check on something, you think you've got an idea for a piece of content, you want a bit of a zhuzh, whatever it is, you can always hit us up at Social Climbers. We are obsessed with talking about TikTok. We are obsessed with helping everyone. We're registered as Social Climbers Collective on socials, and we are always open. Our DMs are always open. And we are super privileged to get to chat to you about your brand and help you on your journey. Because as you've obviously heard, TikTok has definitely changed mine.
Amazing. And 100% I would recommend for everyone to go and find Emily, go and give her a follow, go and connect with her, say hello to her. And if you are on the journey of wanting to discover, explore, build, create, grow, make money through TikTok, go and connect with Emily. Finishing off the episode, Emily, I've just got one final question because I ask all of my guests this. What is your one word of the year and why?
Consistency. Because if we don't act consistently, we don't get anywhere. And last year it was becoming, and I feel like I definitely have achieved that. Originally it was going to be flourish, but I feel like it needs to be consistency, because turning up every day, really for TikTok, turning up every day is making a big difference, but also turning up every day as it's a new day and giving myself that space. Okay, we're here today. Okay, we're here today. What happened yesterday isn't relevant. We're turning up today. Let yesterday go, turn up today. So yeah, that's my mantra of the year.
I love this. Thank you so much, my lovely, for sharing that. And thank you for all of your advice, words of wisdom, for everything in terms of the TikTok trends and everything we've talked about today. And like I said to all of our listeners, please do go and connect with Emily, give her a follow and reach out to her with any TikTok questions that you have. Thank you so much for being a guest today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been so fun and always amazing to connect with you.
And thank you so much for everyone that's tuned into today's episode. Please don't forget to rate, review and subscribe to the podcast. And I will see you all again next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Actually I Can Female Entrepreneur podcast with me, your host, Kayleigh Greenacre. If you are ready to build, grow and scale your dream 6-figure or multi-6-figure business, then head to our website now for more information or connect with me on socials to see how you can create your dream business and dream life.